Hello, beautiful people. So today's video is titled The End of an Era, and no, it does not mean that I'm going to stop making these videos. I do want to share the news about the end of an era in just a few minutes, so please stay with me so that I can teach you some stuff that can help you in law enforcement career, keep you out of trouble, keep you out of the Internal Affairs Office, possibly even disciplinary action or termination. So yesterday was the last day for the April semester. I teach college courses, and I like to spend a few minutes before each presentation talking about life skills. I think it's important that you listen to life skills because that's how you get ahead in life. So you can't be doing things that have consequences and then be surprised when those consequences occur and you get disciplined, you get terminated, you get laid off, etc. So please pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. I really believe that these things will help you in your law enforcement career. So the United States has been in somewhat turmoil in terms of political sides. It's almost like you're on one side or on the other side. Very few people are in the middle. There's no gray areas. It's pretty much, you believe one thing, you believe the other thing. But I'm always telling students that, life works in cycles. And what is okay to do today may not be okay for you to do tomorrow. And so you have to adapt to what is happening in the law enforcement arena. And so I was researching the Associated Press, and one of the stories that popped up is Tucker Carlson from Fox News was terminated, and that CNN anchor Don Lemon was also terminated. And of course, I'm always curious to find out why these individuals lost their jobs, because you should be curious as well when you work in law enforcement as to why officers get terminated or fired or pass away, because every situation brings with it lessons for you to apply in your life to be able to avoid these danger areas. And so Tucker Carlson for years has been pushing conspiracy theories, and I've been telling my students in my classes for years that you may like conspiracy theories in terms of you want to watch a movie or a Netflix series or something on Hulu or Amazon Prime, something that you're interested because it has conspiracy theories and it may be stimulating you in some way. Maybe you like horror films, maybe you like comedy, maybe you like action. So conspiracy theories may be one of those preferences that you have in terms of movies. But when it applies to real life, conspiracy theories have consequences, because if you start applying those to real life, you start living by them, you start acting within them, and then something starts coming out of your mouth that is not accurate, there's going to be consequences. And this all started with the January 6th insurrection. And I know some of you, if you're on the other side of the political aspect, may not even want to hear it. Maybe you want to pause it, but that's totally up to you. I encourage you to keep listening. I encourage you to keep listening because I believe that you can learn from what I'm about to tell you. So anyway, Tucker Carlson and others are still, pushing these conspiracy theories that, they believe the election was stolen and yada, yada, yada. And so the majority of the viewers loved listening to that because they loved following conspiracy theories. So then, anyway, all of a sudden I'm reading how he did a show on Friday, and that he tells his viewers, hey, I'll be back on Monday. And then as soon as he's done with the show, he gets served with papers and gets walked out by security. And boom, he's no longer allowed in a Fox News building or any network premises. And so at one point he thought, okay, I'm at the top of my game. I got millions of viewers who follow my conspiracy theories, who follow my lies. But then what happens? Fox News gets served with a lawsuit from those Dominion voting machines. Then all of those messages, text messages, memos, emails were subpoenaed from Fox News by the courts. And those text messages revealed that Tucker Carlson and others knew that this conspiracy theory in terms of the election being stolen was a lie. They knew that Mayor Giuliani Sidney Powell and others were pushing lies. Yet, the very 10 minutes after they told someone that they believed these things were lies, they are now on the news telling millions of people that they support these conspiracy theories, they support these lies. And I'm sitting back here, former background investigator, former police officer, current college professor, and I'm thinking, at which point do we arrive at where we say, you know what, enough of conspiracy theories, the truth matters, and lying has consequences. And so yesterday was the end of an era. Fox News, before they went for their lawsuit, $1.2 billion lawsuit against them by Dominion Voting Machines Company, who basically suffered because of these lies being pushed on air, was suing Fox News, $1.2 billion. Before the first witness was sworn in, they settled for $787.5 million. They settled. And the reason they settled is they knew that all of those released emails, all of those released text messages, all of the conversations that were taking place at the time these lies were being spewed onto the network, those were all lies. And they knew they were going to lose $1.2 billion. They settled for $787.5 million. Now, there's a couple other lawsuits coming up against them by another company who basically, same thing, their business was damaged by these lies that were being put out through the airwaves via these Fox News networks, right? So then, that's one topic. The other topic is CNN anchor Don Lemon, okay? Great guy, I followed him. I did notice lately that he was getting a bit cocky when he did his news or his talk show. He was getting somewhat cocky. Things were coming out of his mouth that I was like, man, you know, that's kind of pushing it. He makes a comment about Nikki Haley, who's running for president, that he doesn't even understand why she's running for president. She's in her 50s, and most women are only on their primes in their 30s, maybe 40s, but not 50s. Well, the women in that network felt offended, and they brought these complaints to the network, and the network talked to him about it, and he said he would change, but it continued. The comments continued. And so Don Lemon, just like Tucker Carlson, was surprised when he was served with papers, walked out of the CNN building, not to be allowed back on the premises. And you should be paying attention to what's happening. I'm about to tell you something more. Before the recent elections, the January 6th committee basically researched and investigated all the stuff that led up to the January 6th insurrection, about lies being pushed about the election. These were conspiracy theories, lies. People don't know, but when they have their cell phones and they enter into an area where your phone is pinging on the cell phone towers, we use that for criminal investigations and law enforcement. Well, all these people who believe President Trump had lost the election without verifying their facts, right? Verifying and confirming, they walked to the state capitol. They attacked the state capitol. They attacked police officers. Police officers died. Police officers were injured. A person was shot and killed by police. If you see the videos, it paints a picture of what happens when you follow conspiracy theories. And so, over 800 people have been identified, and over 700 people are sitting in prison today serving their sentences for the attack on the state capitol. The January 6th committee continued to investigate this. Come to find out, there's a guy named Eastman, an attorney out of California from Pepperdine, that basically, when Trump realized he was losing, he came up, hey, what if we say that the election was stolen? And then there's another guy, Navarro, that steps up, says, yeah, that's a good idea. Trump's attorneys that surrounded him were telling him, this is not a good idea, don't do it. And so Trump finds some other guy in the Environmental Protection Agency that wants to jump onto this theory. And so does Sidney Powell, Attorney Sidney Powell, so does Mayor Giuliani. These guys jump into this conspiracy theory that the election was stolen. And so now they put together an investigation. And if you're not following these events, you don't understand what's happening, but you should. And by the way, do confirm and verify everything that I'm telling you. As a college professor, I always tell my students, confirm and verify what I'm telling you. Knowledge is power, and you can't claim stupidity just because of the fact that you're not going to check into this, right? A lot of people just chose not to watch the January 6th committee because they don't want to hear what happened. But it's important to hear what happened, right? So anyway, the January 6th committee basically revealed that President Trump and his team were on board with this conspiracy theories. They basically convinced people to become false electors, false this, false that. They try to hang Mike Pence, all these things. And I'm sitting back here, like some of you, wondering, are there consequences? Are there consequences to lies? Pushing conspiracy theories on the air, causing people, innocent people, to believe that these things are real, to leave their jobs, their families, to grab weapons and go into the state capitol and break windows and attack police. Again, there are consequences. And so now the Department of Justice has appointed Jack Smith. They flew him from overseas to come over here to lead the investigation. And there are a ton of people on the list that are about to be indicted. And President Trump just got indicted, for one thing, in New York. He's getting ready, former president, he's getting ready to be indicted for another one in New York. And then he's got another pending charges in Georgia, where he made a phone call asking them if they could find him 11,000 votes. Again, it's fun and games when you and I talk about, I like an action movie. You may like a conspiracy theory movie. Somebody might like a comedy movie. Somebody might like an action movie. But those are fictional things. Watching a movie is fictional things. When you start pushing lies in your everyday life, there's going to be consequences. So one more story for you before I terminate the video. Antioch Police Department in Northern California is a well-paid agency. Their officers are well-paid. They have about 80 police officers. There was a shooting. The community was up in uproars about this officer-involved shooting. So they subpoenaed the officers' phone numbers and text messages and internal communication. And what they found out is that 39 of these 80 officers were basically texting negative anti-community messages. I'm not even going to tell you what they were, but they were negative enough that they all got suspended. They're all in suspension. 39 of them. Almost half of the police departments. Again, your consequences, your actions have consequences. So it's time to end this era of conspiracies. It's time to stop pushing lies. If you're one of those people, you need to investigate and check into everything I'm saying on this video, right? Confirm and verify everything that I'm saying. A lot of you contact me because you want to work in law enforcement, and I'm here to share my life advice, to share my professor advice, to share life guidance tips. But you need to be paying attention, because if you are doing any of those things, right? If you're texting, commenting, supporting anti-gay, anti-LGBT, anti-race, anti-this or that, making comments against people because of their gender, etc., those messages can be subpoenaed and they can be used against you in court. And so it's about acting like a decent human being. It's about accepting that we are entering the end of a toxic era. And you better be paying attention to this, because you either learn from this, you change your behavior, you adapt and you conform and you succeed, or you basically will get disciplined. You will get suspended. You will get terminated. You'll get walked out of your company building, because zero tolerance is coming up for this type of behavior. Zero tolerance. And so I love you guys. I love my viewers. I'm glad you guys are listening and you're learning from what I'm saying. Be careful what you're allowing to enter your mind. Stand guard to the door into your mind. Only allow positivity and material that's going to make you succeed. Before I close, I played a video yesterday. You guys can go on there and watch it. It's a TED Talk rapper. So you can go on YouTube and search TED Talk rapper. And it's talk about high mindset. It talks about vehicle on shoulder ahead. It talks about high mindset. And he goes through what he learned from his mom, who was his mentor. And his mom doesn't even know what she taught him because he's never actually shared this knowledge with his mom. But he learned, right? He learned from his mama that what it takes to be successful, right? And one of the things that I really admire that he put on there, I mean, I'm not going to spoil the entire video. I encourage you to watch it. I played it for my class and I believe they learned from it. One of the things was that he said to get the negative people out of your life early. Only positive people. Surround yourself with positive people, because you may have career dreams, business goals, future goals, etc. And all it takes is one of these negative, toxic individuals to tell you that you can't do it. And then all of a sudden your mind starts going to the doubt instead of the possible. And so please look him up and listen to him. Again, I'm not pushing rap music or any of that stuff. I'm just pushing life lessons. I'm pushing life lessons. Again, I love you guys. I hope you're getting a lot from these videos. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Give me a thumbs up, as it will help the algorithm. Share, okay, this video with others who you know may be doing some of the things that I meant. I said earlier in this video that there are going to be consequences. So do share, because remember, each one help one, right? Each one of you need to help one person. And if everybody follows that, we're all going to be helping each other become successful in life. Thank you for listening. If you're in law enforcement, please be safe out there, as I want you to be successful. I want you to one day get to retire, enjoy that with your family. And that's it. Until the next video, send me other ideas, as I'd love to share more information that I have with you guys. Okay, take care.